Good Sunday afternoon, everyone. This is Amy Williams. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and thank you for joining me today. It is Sunday, January 23rd, 2023, and I am back with embossing paste. So back in December or November, I did some cards with embossing paste that I absolutely loved. And ever since then, I thought, I want to do it again, but the color yellow just has stuck out for me. And I haven't really figured it out. I was like, I can't figure it out, but I feel like the embossing paste is going to need to use yellow. So yesterday, as I was anxiously awaiting my order, I remembered that I was getting the Sweet Citrus bundle. And this bundle is in the Winter Mini catalog, or the Spring Winter catalog, the ones that's now until April, only for 4 months. So just remember that. It is in there. It is not only a stamp set, but it is a stamp set, die cuts, and an embossing folder that die cuts. So I'm going to show you that a little bit later with what we're going to do. And I'm just really excited. So I hope that you like this. we're going to do 2 cards because I couldn't decide which one to do. So that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to show you the cards we're going to do today, and we're going to get busy. So let me flip the camera. All right. So I want to make sure I have everything in here because I don't want you to miss anything. Okay. I think we've got this and this. All right. So here are the cards that we're going to do today. Okay. This one is that background that I kind of similar to what I did last time, but just with, a little bit different. And then this is using the embossing paste in a different way. So we're going to do both of them today. Because I just want to show them to you both and I'm excited. So I didn't want to do 2 videos. I liked them both. So that is what we're going to do. So I'm going to set those aside and for me to look at. All right. So we're going to start with the embossing paste, and I am using Shimmery White embossing paste. Shimmery White embossing paste, and I am using Shimmery White paper. You can do this on white paper. It works. I've done it. But I'm going to use Shimmery White today because I like that little bit of shimmer. Now, my embossing paste, I do keep in this bag when I'm not using it because I don't want it to dry out. So I keep as much coverage as I can. So when I open it, I have kept this on, I put it back on, and then I just lift it off to use it, okay? And I realized today I'm going to be buying some more of this because I'm almost out. All right, so I'm going to use 4 colors today. And I'm using my little paddle, okay? And I'm going to do 4 little glops, okay? 1. And I'm not doing very big ones because I don't want to do 3 or 4 cards. I'm really only doing 1. And I don't want to waste any of that embossing paste, okay? I don't want to waste it. So... all right, so I'm going to close this up. All right, and I'm going to put it in the bag. Okay, so I've got my 4. Now the colors I'm going to use today, I'm going to start with Saffron. Okay, and I'm going to put just barely a drop. I don't need a ton of any of these. Daffodil Delight. Okay. Mango Melody, sorry. I'm just going to use a very little bit of that. And Flirty Flamingo. I'm kind of going with a grapefruit theme. My husband bought a great big bag of those yesterday. All right, so I'm going to mix these up. And every time you do it, it's going to look a little bit different because it depends on how much embossing paste and how much ink you use and things like that. So I've got this first one. I'm not going to worry about cleaning my knife off between each one. It's yellow. It's all going to mix in. I think it's fine. But you can clean it off. You can do that. But you want to kind of work a little quickly because this does dry. All right. So then the darker one. And I'm starting, of course, with lighter to dark so that it doesn't matter. Okay, but I am going to try to get it pretty off for my Flirty Flamingo, right? Because I don't want too much yellow in there. But if a little yellow gets in, it is not the end of the world. We're going to be mixing them on the same piece of paper anyway, right? So don't get too worried about that. All right. So now I've got my four colors, and really this one looks the lightest to me, so I think that's what I'm going to start with. I am just using a brush. This is the one I've been using for this. I wash it off as soon as I'm done so nothing happens to it. So I've got my paper. Now I have cut this at 5.5 by 4 1/4, knowing I'm cutting this down, but I feel like you got to give yourself some extra room. And my stamp club, we did Joseph's coat this month. And I did the same thing, and I had immediately someone say, why? And that's exactly what I explained to her. Because you never know if you're going to make a mistake. Then you have a more chance of where you like, right? All right, so I've got this. I've kind of used all that one. So I'm going to kind of use that up. I'm going to go over to this one. And I'm just bringing it out. That's all I'm doing is just bringing it out. Okay. And you've got all that shimmer and glimmer. Oh, I love all this glimmer. I love this look. Okay, I've got that. Okay. Again, I'm trying to use every single bit of this because I don't want to waste it. I paid good money for this, right? And now I'm going to go with that. Why do I always forget the name of that one? Mango Melody. All right. And I'm going to go kind of around in a circle. And really at this point, this just looks to me like a beautiful sunburst or sunflower. And I think you could definitely, you could stop right here, go with a sunflower theme or even a sun theme or a citrus theme. You certainly could stop there, but why would we want to do that when I've got this Flirty Flamingo all ready to go? So I'm going to go ahead and use the Flirty Flamingo because I love this color. I don't know. Now, it's really up to you how much you do, right? So you can stop there if you want a less defined look, okay? And I can tell I've got it a little heavy over there, so I'm gonna come over here. It really is up to you what you like. You can. And I'll show you in a minute that I've got some that are more defined and some that are less defined. And it's really just up to you. So that looks good to me. I'm happy with that. I'm going to stop there and I'm going to move this over to dry. Now I'm going to be honest. I do have one already drying because I wanted to make sure that it does take a hot minute to dry. So I'm going to set this over to the side and I'm going to show you some others that I did. I'm going to put that over here. Okay. I've got that and I just dropped that on the floor. It's okay. I don't like this carpet anyway. All right. So I've done that, but we're also on this card, we're going to use the embossing paste on these. And we're also going to use it one other place that it's a little surprise. Now, I've already done these because I want to show you what I did, but this is not colored embossing paste, okay? This is just taking the embossing paste and putting it over one of these that I've embossed, okay? Maybe I need to do that first. Maybe I need to do that first and show you what I did. You need to see how I got these. So let me show you how I got that before I do that. All right. So this bundle, this Sweet Citrus bundle, you're going to get this adorable stamp set if you buy it in the bundle. You don't have to buy it in the bundle. You're also going to get this embossing folder, this 3D embossing folder, and you're going to get die cuts, dies, okay? And your dies have the leaves. It cuts out the leaves. It's got the flowers that it cuts out, but it also cuts out these 4 right here, all right? It sets right in there, and I'm going to show you, we're going to do that now, okay, on our cut and emboss, all right? So let me get my machine. This is my large cut emboss because this one does use the large one. But if you want to be if you've ever thought of being a demonstrator, I would love to have you on my team. And Stampin' Up! Is having an amazing deal right now on the mini cut emboss, which is the smaller one. And that one is right here. You can get it in the white or you can get it in boho blue, which is a beautiful color. I'm hoping that's a new color, that there's maybe in the in color next year. I don't know. I'm just hoping. So I am using, with a 3D embosser, I am using plate 1 and plate 4. Okay. Now what I've got is I've got my embossing folder and I've got my die, and it fits on these 4. Okay. Now I'm going to tell you, I want this cut and I also kind of want this one. So I'm going to cut this to where I've got both of those. I'm not necessarily going to use this part of it. So I'm going to save this part of my paper because this is expensive paper. And once you put this down, I can see I need to move it up just a tad. Okay. And I'm going to move it over. I'm trying to use as little of this paper as I can so I can use it for another project. All right. So I'm going to put this through. I'm going to put 4 on top and then I'm going to run it through. Okay. Now I am using shimmery white cardstock for this, and here's why. I tried using white when I did it, and I'm going to be honest, it did not look as good. It needed the shimmery. It needed to be the same, a tone, because the shimmery card, I just sat down and messed it up. I wanted to show you the surprise. Okay, it just needed to be the same color. Basic white is a little bit different. It's a little bit brighter than the shimmery white. And I'll show them to you next to each other. See the difference? I just didn't like them together. If you don't want to, that's fine. So what I've got, when you come out, then you've got these pieces already cut. Okay. Look at that. They're all cut out. And I've got some extra ones. And I honestly wanted a few more of this. So I'm going to take my snips. This is the right side. And I'm going to cut these out. You can still cut them even if they don't have the die. Now remember, when you're cutting, you're going to cut by you moving the paper, not your scissors. That gives you a smoother finish than if you just use the, if you don't turn the scissors. So I'm going to do that one. So I wanted an extra one. And then I've got this one down here I can cut, and this one down here I can cut. So I've got other ones I could use. I can use another time this one. I don't need all those, so I'm not going to cut all those out right now. But those gives you those options that you can cut because your snips are right there. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to color these. Okay? Now, I tried this several different ways, and you can see my uglies. Okay? I'm just going to show you some of my uglies. The first thing I thought when I did this was like, ooh, I'm going to use the embossing paste on them. It's going to look so good. I don't like it. I don't think it did not for me. Maybe it was me, but I just didn't think it came out that well. Here's what they were. It wasn't really my thing. I was like, nope, I didn't really care for that. Then what I tried doing was the sponge daubers and a marker. So I thought, okay, I'm going to use my marker and go around the outside, and then I'm going to use the sponge daubers and the inside. And I liked it, but it still left a little too much white for me. It just didn't quite do it for me. So I really found that using my blending brushes was the best way to go. I really felt like that was the very best thing to do. Now I have some others cut out. I do have some leaves that I cut out. I'm going to do a couple of leaves. And then I'm going to do another one of these because I might want it. We'll see. Okay. So there is what I'm going to be using. Okay. All right. And then I need a couple of the white ones. I need to do a couple of white leaves. All right. So you can definitely see the difference. Hopefully you can see the difference on the screen of the white and the shimmery white. I don't need this one. I'm not doing lemons today. I am doing grapefruit-ish. So let's start with Flirty Flamingo. Okay. Now, in the new mini catalog, they do have smaller ones of these, which I think probably for this would be even better. I don't have those yet, and I have a full set of these, so I can't justify right now spending the money. So I'm really just going to try to get this in the middle of this. Okay, I'm not really trying to get the outside, okay, because I just want to be as realistic as possible, right? All right, I'm going to do that. Went a little dark there, but that's okay. It's okay, I'm going to live. I have another one. I could do that, right? I do have another one. Let's do another one. All right, let's see. Ah, I like that better. Okay, I'm gonna kind of go there. And I'm gonna be honest, this, I'll tell you what, who inspired me was Tammy White. She's another Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. She is on the artisan team. She is so amazingly talented. Every time I see what she does, I'm just in awe. The next thing I'm going to use is Daffodil Delight. So yeah, I know that mine are never going to look as good. And I didn't try to completely emulate exactly. I just was going to, you know, I just think she does beautiful stuff. So not that she'd ever watch something I'm doing because she does not need lowly Amy stuff. All right, so there's that. I'm going to do these. What I'm doing with this Daffodil Delight is kind of getting the outside of this, kind of like you would, you know, the outside peel. But I also want to get a little bit on the inside. I don't want it to be, you know, this is a real life anyway, so I'm doing that. Okay. Let's do this one too. Let's get that outside. All right. I did tell myself I was gonna change to a clean piece of paper after I did that, but we'll see. Okay. All right. Now I'm gonna go back with Flirty Flamingo and see where I feel like I need to get things in. I'm gonna get a little more on this one. I feel like this little guy could use a little bit of help. He needs a little bit more, okay? All right, so this guy doesn't. So yeah, I'm happy with that. Okay, now I'm gonna get the Pear Pizzazz out to do the leaves. Okay, I love Pear Pizzazz. And I'm gonna do it on the white and the shimmery one, basic white and shimmery white. I don't want to go too far. Like anytime I use these, I really do try to tap off because I don't want it to be too, I want a really smooth look, okay? And you can do multiple colors on here, but I really felt like with these, sometimes you can get a lot of depth of color just by using one color. And I like that because I could go really dark over there, keep that kind of light, and gives yourself a little bit, I just think it gives you depth. So that's why I do it. All right, let's do this little guy. And you can go as dark as you want. If you like things dark and bold, go dark and bold, please. All right. See, I can go a little bit darker. That one I didn't tap off, so again, it was darker. All right. So I'm going to do my white ones, and I'm going to try to keep them separate from the shimmery white. I think I can tell, but I want to make sure I don't. And I can hide that, right? You can always hide things. I don't want that to show that I kind of got that because I have it on my hand. All right. All right. There we go. And that's probably enough, but who knows? I want to give myself the option, right? Always give options. Okay. Now I've already done these in the white like this, okay? Because I want them to be shimmery, okay? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you on this one that I've already done. I've already colored it, okay? It is on basic white. You can see when I turn it over, this one's basic white. But if it was shimmery, it wouldn't matter, okay? I'm gonna get my shimmery paste out again, and I'm using a larger paintbrush this time, okay? Now, what I'm gonna do is I am just dipping my paintbrush straight in, and I'm gonna go over it just like that. And boom, look at that. How cool is that? Now, after I made this card, I had another idea that I'm gonna try for this one. So what I did was I went ahead and I cut this out with a deckled rectangle, and I did this same thing again, but I just went along the outside of the yellow. So that's what I did with this one, and I wanted it to dry. So that's what I did with that one, okay? I think I'm gonna love that on the card. I think it's gonna add a little bit more dimension to that card too. So I'm gonna set this aside. I probably should have had a bowl of water. All right, so here are these. I did not do these shimmery. I tried it on a card and I felt like that was just a little bit too much, okay? So we are ready to put both of our cards together. Oh, one other thing, I do want to stamp my sentiment. I have a piece of shimmery white. I've already done the other one, the white one. And I'm going to use Memento. And I've got Have a Zesty Birthday. So I'm going to tap that in, and I'm going to stamp it right here on the edge. Okay. Boom. There you go. And so here we go. And then I'm going to get my cutter. This is at 3/4 of an inch. I don't typically cut it to size first. I always cut it to size after, just because I don't always get things straight. But today I did it. Now, I am using, for the edge of this, I'm using this new stamp set. I hope you can see. I hope it shows up. It's got like a large deckled and a smaller deckled. I'm using the smaller today. So you're just going to open that up. And again, I love how this does, because you can do 1/2 inch, 3/4 of an inch, and 1 inch. So I'm going to put it in here like this. You can butt it up against, this is a really easy one to do, even if it doesn't exactly fit in there. I'm going to go a little bit less because I think I'm a little close, okay? Maybe that's not the side I meant to do that on. I meant to do it on the other side, sorry. Okay, do that again. This one's the side I'm going to go a little bit less because I feel like I kind of got close to the edge. Yes, there we go. So Have a Zesty Birthday. I love when they do these punches. So see, you can kind of see that edge right there. All right. Now let's see about putting these cards together. I'm going to do this one first. I think that looks really cool. I'll be honest, I love that. Now what I did was, this is a piece of basic white thick. So I cut it in half and I went ahead and folded it. Then I took my embossing folder. All right. And I embossed it by putting my card front right here on the edge. And I got right to the edge with that, and I ran it through my machine. So this background is textured, all right? So there is that. Now I'm going to use my Stampin' Steel Plus, and I'm gonna add this to this, Okay, I don't know why I added all that, but I did. All right, so I'm going to do that. I think that just gives it a little pizzazz. You know, a lot of times they'll make shimmery paper like this, and it might not be in the color you want. Well, guess what? You just made some shimmery paper. Now, I did do one all the way for pink, so if I wanted to go really wild and do pink here, and then maybe even add these, I think that would be beautiful, but I decided to stick with this and not go too crazy, since I do have my full other ones are all shimmery like that. Oh, I think this effect, and you can do this effect on anything, right? You can do it on absolutely anything. Now, I'm going to put this, I'm not going to put this on quite yet. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to move these to the side. Got this. You know what? I think I'm going to do this really quick because I think all of this mess gets in the way. So we're going to magically get a clean one. Okay, there we go. Now we're back in business. All right. Now I'm going to I like this guy. I know I want him in here. I want this guy here, the big one and the little one. That kind of, to me, balances out a little bit. Pull it down a little bit. And then I'm going to add these guys, okay? And I can add 2 or I could add 3. I don't know. What do you think? You can't tell me because I can't hear you. That's okay. All right. I think I'm going to do that. Now I'm going to go ahead before I do anything else, and I'm going to put my pop dots. I want pop dots on everything, or dimensionals, sorry. I love dimensionals. I think they add a lot to your card. Now I know postage is going up, so if you don't want to add the dimensionals, you don't have to. I do know that it is going up, and if you're mailing this, then you might not want to add extra bulk to add extra money to that. So I completely understand. Now, I'm going to be honest. I think that some of these, I'm only going to do 3. To me, this side is a little more narrow. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut my dimensionals here and use these smaller edges. I have mini dimensionals. I could get those out, but I'm going to use every bit of this dimensional anyway, this piece. So I might as well do that right there. Okay. I am also going to dimensional this up. Okay. Typically, I end up giving my cards away instead of mailing them. And so I'm okay with the extra added bulk. So that's okay with me. But I completely understand if you're mailing it and don't want the added bulk. Again, dimensionals are everywhere in my house. All right. So I'm going to do that. I am really happy with that extra bling. I think that's pretty, and I don't have it straight. So we're going to make it straight because that will make me crazy. Okay, so I've got that on. And I don't have my card done very straight, do I? So I'm going to go ahead and fix that right now. I'm going to hold the corners really tight and pull that up, okay? And then let's get that with the thing. Okay, much better. All right. Now I'm going to start adding these, okay? 1, 2, 3. Got him. I'm going to do this next because I feel like that needs to be the next thing I put on there. And then I can fill in the sides. Okay. 1, 2. I do feel like I need something else right here. I really feel like that needs Even though I know I'm going to also have leaves, I feel like I need another one like this. I think maybe I need to move him a little bit over. Let's do, I know you didn't like me turning you, but I don't care. Turn a little bit, please. Okay. I'm going to put that right there. All right, now let's put some leaves in here. Get that color in, right? Okay. Definitely want one down here. I want one here. Ah! No. Did I drop it? Yep, I did. I dropped it. Okay, put this right here. All right, and then take out the one I dropped and put him, let's see, let's put him right here. I like that. And I've got Have a Zesty Birthday. I'm going to put that right here. I don't really think I need pop dots for that or dimensionals for it because it's already on something that is dimensional. So I am just going to put some in the middle here and put it like that. Have a Zesty Birthday, just like that. And then definitely want to add some of the Iridescent Rinestones. So we got to have a couple here. I'm going to put a couple, or one there, I mean. One, two. I think when you're doing dimension or rhinestones, I always try to do them in odd numbers. So right now I have 4. I feel like I need one more. I'm still going to do another small one. I think the small ones are a nice little addition. And we're going to put it right there. So that is card number 1. Let's get card number 2 going. I love that guy. Okay, now we're going to go with card number 2. So here is my one that's already dry. I'm going to cut it down to 5, and I'm going to cut 1/4 inch off of this side, and I'm going to cut 1/4 inch off of this side. Ah. All right, then I'm going to cut 1/2 inch from the top. Okay, that's my scoring blade aim. And I'm going to get this down to 3 3/8. Okay, so there we go. All right, so now I've got this guy ready. And I'm going to do it. Now this time I decided to do it on this deckled because I really like this deckled look. So I'm going to put this on this deckled. So I'm going to, as you can see, I need to cut down just a hair more. I wonder, I think that one will fit even better. So I'm going to use that one right there. Okay. I'm going to put that on here. Okay. Nope, I'm not. First, I'm going to add black ribbon, right? Okay, let me cut that real quick and add my black ribbon. I just wanted a little bit of contrast in this one, okay? So, that's, okay. I'm going to put that right there, and I'm going to turn it over, okay? I don't have any adhesive there. I just like to use tape. I think it's easier. Also, if you have a ribbon that tends to fray, we do have a couple of them that does. This is a good way to stop that. You can put that right there. All right. So I'm going to take this guy and I'm going to put him right here on here. Okay. Now I haven't decided if I'm going to put this on this or if I'm going to put this on this. So I'm not making that decision yet. I haven't decided. I'm going to wait till the card is completely done. Okay. Now I've got these that I did earlier. All right. And I'm again going to use the dimensionals. I don't want to use that. Dimensionals. And I kind of like the way that went across. I might not do as many. I think I'll probably do less because I don't want to cover up too much of this beauty right here. Oh. Nope, not that side. How about this side? So I don't think I'm going to use that one. Let's do a couple of these. I'm going to make it fit. I might have to cut that in a little bit. We'll see. Trying to get this done. I don't want to be here. Might get tired of listening to me and watching me, huh? Okay. Okay. Again, I'm going to start with my larger one first. I'm going to put that on first. And I do want to make a bow. So I am going to go ahead and make a bow. And I'm going to show you how I make a bow. I don't have girls. I know there's a trick, but I have boys and I didn't do girls' bows. So I do rabbit ears and that's just what works for me. So I do 2 little rabbit ears and I tuck one behind the other. Again, I know that there's a secret way of tying a bow that is beautiful, that's not using rabbit ears, that's a grown-up way. But I don't know it. My boys never wanted ponytails. I never did girl hair. So, all right. So now I've got this guy, and I think this way does pretty well. I just bought a bow maker. I have not gotten it out of the box. And so there you go. Not going to use it yet. All right. So this is going to go here, I think, but I think I'm going to push it. I want it under a little bit. I don't want it too high. I'm using glue dots for this one. I'm just going to put one right there. That's all you need. Okay. And I'm going to put this little piece under. I want him like that. And I want this like that and that. Okay. I want this above, but I wanted that below. So I wanted him to get on there next. Okay. So now I'm going to add this guy. Bring him down here, I think. And then a couple of these. And you can see why I needed a little bit less bling. We've got a lot in the background. We don't want to go too crazy, you know. All right, so I've got that like that. And then let's do a couple leaves. All right, we're going to put that there. And I'm going to put this little guy here. And if you don't want to cover up as much of this as I did, you know what? You don't have to because it's your card. You do whatever you want to do. All right, so I've got that. I like it. Now this is the big decision. Do I put it on here? Ooh. Or do I put it on here? And I do have my Zesty Birthday. I think I'm going to put it up at the top again like I did that one. Oh, that's a big decision, isn't it? I think I'm going to stick with this. I think I'm going to stick with the yellow. So I'm going to do that. And again, I use the deckled edge cardstock or frame. I wanted a little bit extra. And I am going to dimensional this because I did not dimensional this. So 3 of those. All right. And let's see. I'm going to do what I have to do to cover as little of my starburst as possible. All right. So there is that one. I know it goes a little higher. If I want to cut it off, I can nip it off or put it in my frame. And then I have this one. And those are my 2 cards. I'm going to flip back over. All right. Thank you so much for staying with me through that. I appreciate it. I just couldn't decide between the 2 cards. And I thought, well, we're going to make them both. Those are 2 different things you can do with that embossing paste. I think that if you buy something, you need to have options, and I want to give you those options with that one tool. Hopefully you learned something today, saw something you didn't know, and enjoyed it. I hope you have a wonderful week. This almost last week of January, almost getting into February. Do something creative, be kind, and have a great week. Thank you. Bye-bye.